Number one, what I showed on the thumbnail, 3 times ever in the history of Bitcoin has this happened. And that is looking at the energy output versus the price. Basically, you're measuring the hash rate, the miners, right? They continue to mine. The difficulty keeps going up. Hash rate goes up. The energy expenditure goes up. And you versus the price. When there's a huge deviation between these things, guess what? Bitcoin is about to pop. You look at what happened first time in 2018, 2019. Second time, 2020. And the third time, October of 2022, right? So this is the type of, this is like one of those generational opportunities, okay? Had you bought Bitcoin at $3,000 and bought Ethereum at $80, that's generational opportunity right there, right? And it happened in 2018, 2019, which was not too long ago. It happened again in 2020, only because of the pandemic. It just brought everything down, but that was a flash crash. But again, you could have picked up Bitcoin under $4,000 or Ethereum under $100, right? Along with several other alts that have gone up like 1,000x since then, right? So this is one of those times later on, 4, 5, 8 years, when Bitcoin is at $1 million, you're going to look back and say, well, why didn't I buy more? Because that's exactly what Cathie Wood is saying. Cathie Wood is staying strong with her prediction that by 2030, Bitcoin will be at $1 million. She's not changing from that. 2030. And if you think about it, that's less than 8 years. We're heading into 2023. This year flew by. That's only 7 more years. Okay, and if it comes true, if you have 1 Bitcoin, you're a millionaire. So think about that. A lot of people think I can't possibly become a millionaire by buying or holding Bitcoin. You're wrong. If it goes to the 1 million, all you need is 1, and you're a millionaire. And Cathie Wood stands by that. And so does many others, right? So don't give up on Bitcoin. I know it's awesome to hold alts and see it go up by 24% in a day, but Bitcoin is still the big daddy, is still the ultimate store value. So don't be giving up on Bitcoin. Now, short term, there does seem to be a lot of bears trying to stand ground at 21,000. Okay, and this may be the reason why Bitcoin, if you zoom out a little bit, well, we don't have to zoom out that much actually. Recently, you could see that Bitcoin tried to break 21,000. Unable to. Tried twice. Today, probably we will see it again 3 times. The reason why the bears do not want Bitcoin to go higher, because you know what? They just experienced a $1.6 billion liquidation. A massive short squeeze, one that we haven't ever seen before. Oops. I turned the camera off. It's okay. But they don't want to experience that again. If we shatter through 21,000, there will be another massive short squeeze that will drive us much higher. The next point will probably be around 23,000. After that, it'll be slightly above 24 to 25,000. Right? These are highs that we need to break. We broke through a couple trends. We broke through this massive trend line all the way, going back all the way to November. We have broken through that. We broke through 20,400, which was a previous high. Next one we need to break is 21,000. Then we are ready to head higher. So the bears are standing ground at 21,000. They don't want to see this go any higher, but it's not up to them. And you never want to go against Bitcoin. If you do, you're going to get burned eventually. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It will. It will happen, right? So things are looking pretty good so far. Pretty good so far. What else is going on today? Let's talk what else is going on. Got some charts. Here's one that shows that Bitcoin is about to enter another super cycle. Correlates with everything else I've been saying. Usually cycles follow halving events. They don't really, you know, they don't really follow like anything else, but according to Stock Money Lizards, well, they do. If you look at the time spent, right, for each cycle, the downtrend, and how much goes down by, well, you can make an argument that we are ready to get into the new cycle. So if so, very, very positive. And of course, the number of addresses continue to go up and up and up, and you never see it go down because only more people are coming into this space. They're learning, and once they truly understand, they never, ever go away. Now, lastly, it is November already. We're entering the final few months. So this morning, U.S. payrolls surged by 261,000, so 60,000 more than expected. Overall, this is positive, right? But then again, things like this scare investors because they think Powell's going to be more hawkish and the cycle goes on. But now it's seeming like people are just getting used to the fact that rate hikes will continue and they'll be high for a while, right? It just seems like it's starting to be normal or normalized. So even though this number came out this morning, you could see the futures market is unaffected. So we'll see if that's temporary or not. But there are a lot of money that's starting to flow. So this is showing that global equity funds are starting to gain money in. A lot of people are starting to pull their cash out of their bank account, putting them into something, hopefully not bonds, because bonds not going to protect you. So they're putting into funds, stocks, crypto, right? There's a pile of cash, billions upon billions upon billions of cash on the side waiting to come in. And we're seeing more and more of that being diverted to crypto. More and more people are talking about, more and more institutions are getting involved. So that's telling you something. That's telling you the demand, appetite is there. You know, Goldman Sachs recently launched a crypto explainer. This is made for their institutional clients. So we're talking about the big boys of Wall Street. They want to learn more about crypto. They want to come in, which is why Goldman Sachs is doing this, right? So this is billions upon billions of billions that are waiting to come into this space. Okay? Think about that. And also, just yesterday, I covered Fidelity opening up their own crypto exchange, commission-free crypto exchange. Think about it. Fidelity, asset manager with over $10 trillion worth of assets. They're nearly as big as BlackRock. Okay? That's how big it is. And they are so bullish on this space that they came out with their own crypto exchange of all things. And of course, they do Bitcoin mining, custody service, and trading for institutions as well. I mean, they are all in. And that's the market bell right there. Let's see if it works. Oh, this is magic bell. Never have to replace the battery. So that's the market bell. Best in the industry. But like I was saying, you know, these institutions are getting ready. They're getting ready for the FOMO. And when there is FOMO, it's going to be unlike anything we have ever seen. This time around, the next time we have a rally and we start heading upwards, so we have so many avenues, so many ways for people to get in. It's going to be unlike any of the previous cycles we have ever experienced. And that is going to be fantastic. Now, there's a couple of things I want to talk about in terms of Bitcoin. Okay? About Elon and Twitter. Twitter office is closed because they are planning on firing 3,700 people, about half. Elon originally said 70%, but I think he backed down. He's going to fire half of the employees. So if you're working for Twitter, good luck. I don't know anyone watching that's working for Twitter right now. But there does seem to be something going on with AOC and Elon. They're going back and forth. AOC recently said, you know what? I'm not going to pay a billionaire $8 to have my account verified. And then Elon shot back, showing a sweater from her store that's being sold for $60, right? And then now she's claiming that, you know, Elon is doing something with her Twitter feed. It disappeared or something like that. And Elon, of course, is trolling back. I don't know what's going on between these two, but there's something going on. A lot of people are really against the $8 check mark. Stephen King, I think, who's worth like $500 million, said, "Nah, I'm not paying no $8 for a check mark." There does seem to be a lot of really wealthy people that's really against paying $8 a month. That's less than what they pay for Netflix or Hulu or whatever. Anyways, and it's not mandatory. It's optional. It's not like you have to pay it. It just seems kind of silly. All right. What else is going on? Kwon is so cocky and arrogant that on his Twitter feed, he's saying, yeah, I'm going to throw a meetup and conference to prove that I'm not in hiding, and cops all over the world, welcome to attend. But of course, he has turned off replies, so you can't reply to it. And of course, he did not give out a location. I really want to see him give out a location. Is he that arrogant that he thinks that people will show up and be all friendly, waiting to just do a meet and greet with him? I really want to see if he's that ballsy, or that stupid, I should say. But in the meantime, South Korea has pulled his passport. It is now canceled. So if he only has one passport, he's stuck. And supposedly he's somewhere in Europe right now. He's not in Singapore, because Singapore says he's not there. So we will see. I think again, him being alone all this time is still, it's really doing, it's really making him a mental case. Basically, it's hitting him hard. Like his tweets are getting more and more wild. So I don't know what's going on there. But I guess we'll see. Just to warn you guys, IRS looks like they're very, very serious about tracking down crypto people. Okay, so if you've been on this island, you're like, I don't need to report nothing. Taxation is theft, right? If you're in the U.S., watch out, because it does seem like they're putting more and more emphasis on crypto and people who have not paid on their gains. So just watch out. I've been hearing more and more about this. And recently, obviously, Biden approved like 80,000 new IRS agents, right? And they're supposed to be taxing the wealthy. But who knows? They're going to look at everyone, really. So be careful if you're one of those that refuse to pay taxes. And then lastly, Powerball. For those of you guys that like to take, I don't know, a chance. Who cares? If you throw $2 in, who cares, I guess, right? But it is at $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion. That's quite a lot. You know what's funny about this story is that $1.5 billion they actually don't have. The $1.5 billion is what's anticipated that you'll get if you choose to collect it over 30 years. And they say they'll take that winnings that you have and put into bonds and hopefully collect enough after 30 years to pay you the full $1.5 billion. That's actually kind of funny. So they actually don't have $1.5 billion to pay out to you because they don't even have it. I didn't know that. That's actually really funny. So it's only that high because they're just anticipating due to inflation and everything else that if you select 30 years, you'll get it. Here's the thing, though. You don't want to select 30 years for two reasons. And I've done research on this. I think we all have, right? Like, oh, what are we going to do if we win the lottery? Number one is if you elect to take it over 30 years, if you die, you can't pass it on to anyone. You can't put it into a trust or anything. So it just goes away. So you're taking a big risk there. Number two is the fact that most people, almost everyone says, you rather take the lump sum, invest it, rather than leave it there for 30 years. Because if you invest that lump sum over 30 years, you're going to make way more than what you would have gotten had you just left it there for 30 years, right? So that's the two things. That's why almost no one elects 30 years. They always take the lump sum. So just to give you some friendly advice. And if you happen to win the Powerball, make sure you share some with me because I just gave you some advice.